I wanted to welcome everyone to my YouTube channel all about traveling and travel tips, how to travel cheap, especially in your 20s. So a little bit more about me is I am 20 years old. My name is Kayla Prado. I enjoy traveling, being active, going for hikes, all the fun stuff, trying new places to eat, exploring everything, making new friends. Well, I am fairly new to traveling. I have traveled before since, 13, 14. So I grew up in the US, in Boston, Massachusetts. Then I went to, Waltham, Massachusetts, not Boston really. And then I went to Bolivia. I moved. And I just have been traveling from Bolivia to Argentina. And then in some of the summers, I came back to the US and like visit friends and my godparents because all my family's back home in Bolivia. However, now I just recently did a trip to Puerto Rico and I loved it. It was amazing, super fun. Definitely want to share some tips and tricks, do's and don'ts that I've learned solo traveling there. And well, it was solo traveling until a point. So my friend did come with me last minute from Boston. She flew out so she bought her ticket last minute, like a day before, and so we met up there. So we did most of the things together, and then she left a day earlier than me. Well, for this trip, I literally only went because it was super cheap. It was like 80 bucks round trip from Boston to Puerto Rico. And I flew Spirit, so I only packed a personal item. And what I learned is the best from all these YouTube videos I've watched was to get a backpack. So I got a 35-liter backpack from Target, and it was amazing. It served its purpose, definitely. Still gonna be used a lot. I'm definitely gonna do more trips with Spirit. Some people are like, oh, Spirit's the worst, this and this. So for its price, like, I definitely would fly Spirit again. I'm not complaining, of course. It's tiny and your back hurts and whatever, but it's like, I will pay 80 bucks again to go to Puerto Rico. And I saw the tickets after that, and so like October and November, the flights were even cheaper. They were up to like 60 bucks, like crazy cheap. And I had an amazing time, made lifelong friends there, and stayed at a hostel. So that's another thing I want to touch upon, how to stay in a different country for cheap, and especially when solo traveling. So it's amazing. I went with the idea of staying at a hostel in order to make friends and especially to like save money because it's cheaper than a hotel. It was like 20 bucks I think per night, and I chose the female dorms, so there was bunk beds, and there was actually 3 bunk beds in that room, so for 6 people technically, but there was only 3 of us, so me, the friend that went with me, and there was another girl, and that girl ended up being literally our best friend. So I stayed at a hostel called Casa Santurce in San Juan. It's not the old San Juan where the colored houses, no, it was just San Juan, a little bit outside of old San Juan. We went to all these different places, but the best part was we didn't pay for a rental car. Why? Because I did go on Hinge 2 weeks prior and kind of swipe, made new friends, and those friends wanted to take us out and show us like all these places in Puerto Rico. So we did that with my other friend, and then during the trip at the hostel we met other people, and so that way with those people we would meet up other days to go to the beach and explore more of San Juan and Puerto Rico. So usually for Puerto Rico at least, beaches are a bit further, or the best beaches are a bit further out, say 30 minutes to an hour and a half could be. So mostly you need a car, and that's what we did not want to pay for because we were going for cheap. Like we literally only paid for food, and sometimes like some of the Hinge dates would pay for food, so I'm super grateful for that. And for partying, it's literally free, so just go have a fun time, and of course you buy drinks that you spend money on. I would say all in all it was an amazing trip. Let me know if you guys want me to get more into detail, what I brought on the trip, what my bag looks like. I could definitely do that. I just wanted to give a little quick talk about how it went, what I did, and I stayed 6 days in total. I would say 5 full days, but it was like half of, so Thursday evening I got to the island, and then Tuesday evening I was flying out, so I wouldn't count that as a full day. So I would say I stayed like 5 full days, and I barely slept. I would explore in the morning, beaches, or I did El Yunque one of those days, which is a rainforest. And then the other half of the day, of course, all night until like 5 a.m., it would be partying in La Perla, which is a dangerous zone, people consider it. However, everybody would go because there's a curfew right now in Puerto Rico for 12 a.m. Everything shuts down, so the only other option would be La Perla, and it was amazing. People there are so nice. I was talking to the bartenders, literally. I still talk to one of them on Instagram. They were super nice, very friendly. They just literally, of course, there's drugs and everything on the streets, but if you don't do that, you're completely fine. If you want to do that, go ahead. Just no photographs, no pictures, and be respectful at all times. No disrespecting anybody, and that's just common sense. But the people were very, very nice. I would 100% recommend going. If you know a local, if you know somebody else going, like, definitely join. So that friend of mine that we met at the hostel that was staying with us in the same room, well, she is the first one that took us down there, and she knew the places to go, like what to see. We explored a bit up to the ocean because it's right next to the ocean, of course. And so that's how we explored it, and we ended up going all 5 days that I was there because that's how fun it was.